Hi, welcome to Get on the Deck, my personal slideshow on Zero Skip characters and their Yu-Gi-Oh decks. This is not an academic slideshow, this is for pure entertainment. Obviously. It will have spoilers. Literally the second character you see, their deck I've given them, has a minor spoiler, and this is covering every single character. So, if you want to know about a certain character or anything, you haven't finished any of the games, please ask me personally, because this is going to spoil probably the entire series for you. All 3 games. And another thing, this is from brainstorming for a few months, so please don't go, you're wrong, they should have had this deck instead, because I don't know every single archetype in Yu-Gi-Oh! Okay. One more thing, some of these have detailed explanations, or some don't. I'm sorry, I got lazy or something. Now, JUNPEI, our protagonist. He has protagonist disease, so he gets Super Quant. Now, Super Quant are kind of like Super Sentai type inspired Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Seek a way out. To find cards you need to recycle them over and over. Plus, there's a bunny, which is extremely relevant if you know JUNPEI and AKANE's history. Now, AKANE gets shadows. They involve the graveyard to trigger effects. Ha ha ha, graveyard, death. And then El Shadow, mistaken with the wiki, I'm sorry, I'm not academic, I didn't actually properly source this. El Shadow construct uses these shadow strings to more control the manifested shadows. And with this to extend its influence and power. Plus, it's purple. It makes you think. Now, Clover would get the Frightfur or Fluffal archetype. Fluffals are like these cute little plushy looking things, and they turn into these twisted fusions of Akaba. Now they're cute but deadly. Frightfurs are corruptions of Fluffals, I just said that. Clover in Drastic Message become twice twisted if you know 999 and well BLR. Snake gets Utopia. Utopia is an ace monster used by Yuma Tsukumo from Yu-Gi-Oh! Zero series. Oh yeah, I should have mentioned that Sora from Arc 5 uses Frightfur. Anyway, look, he's also known as the King of Wishes, Hope, Kibo no Hoppo in Japan. He's all about attacking and negating opponents. And Jin archetype, which is an Xyz monsters, work really well with Snake, considering they're music related, because every hardcore Zero Skin fan knows that that Snake plays the harp. Santa gets Destiny Heroes, otherwise known as D-Heroes. D-time. Now they're based off anti-heroes, and makes you think, is Santa good or is he bad? Is he the white Santa or the black Santa? Destiny, fate, it all makes sense, all things considered. And works well with cocky assholes that have silverish hair, white hair. Now, Ace uses PSY-Frames, or just a basic psychic deck. I didn't actually look into these properly because I hate them so much. Despite not being an Esper himself, Ace is fascinated by Esper abilities, going to great measures and being a fucking freak. PSY-Frame is a psychic archetype, banishing and hand traps, disrupting the opponent's moves, and like I said before, I hate them. LOTUS uses Code Talker. Now, Code Talkers are, well, based off Code Talkers. They're skilled LOTUS is skilled in computing technology, programming, and hacking. Code Talkers are a Cybers archetype, works well with other Cybers cards such as Mathmex. I also would have given her the Bubble Era from the Residuals format, which isn't in the TCG yet, so kinda sad about that. 7 uses Security Force. Now, I wrote this before Security Force even came out in English, so I could be wrong. I just got Orifice just recently. It's him there with Time Thief or Duma. They're tied to Time Thief and PSY-Frame. 7 is a detective, S-Force is authority. Deck seemingly addressed your opponent's cards using banishing and special summoning to effect restrictions. I could have given him that one archetype that Tetsuo Ushio, sorry, I forgot his name, uses, but yeah. Now the Ninth Man uses a trap deck. It's actually like, take this! Trap everywhere! I just put Metal Effect Slime, whatever it's called, in the image because I hate it. Defensive strategy, refuses to lose easily, uses Imperial Custom like a bitch, and it doesn't work well, also he dies. Everyone uses traps. Onto VLR, Sigma uses Harpies. Listen to me. Look at them. He uses few decks based on women, but mains Harpies. Like, he would use Dark Magician Girl, he would use Blackluster Soldier. Yes, I know Blackluster Soldier is depicted as a guy. Shut up, he's a girl to me. She. Pronouns, who cares? He's generally good at the game, can rapidly summon and protect his cards, warming the field for extra deck, plus he would have a thing for monster girls. I mean, come on, if you know Sigma Clyde. Now, 5 would use Fortune Ladies. They're mixed with other cards of strategy. Swarm the field quickly, effect after effect. Support from Future Fairy Archetype. Plus there is a support card called Future Visions. Also, she argues with Sigma over her choice of deck. She'd be like, Sigma, that's great, you have Monster Girl cards, and then Sigma would be like, you run Fortune Ladies. And then she'd be like, yeah, I'm a lesbian. Now, Clover 2 from VLR would use Ghostrick. They're cute little monsters that, well, they have tricks up their sleeves. She would still use Frightfur, I think, but I think she would like to game fest with other cute decks too, maybe like Melfi as well. Now, the Ghostricks use a flip effect tactic, stalling tactic and moving opponent's decks, causing some nasty surprises. Just look at them. They're so cute. Now, Alice uses Ice Barrier. I mostly did this for the joke, but trust me, all ice. While Alice is strong alone, her relationship with Clover is important, and the death of her father. And I think I worded this wrong, but you get what I mean. The death of her father, she was really close with him, and she got closer with Clover. Like, she thinks she can. I'm pretty sure she's one of those people who's like, I have to do this all by myself, but teamwork is important, and Alice doesn't need to work alone, like how ice barrier monsters are not useful while alone. Now, Dio uses Spiles. Dio is a spy who infiltrates the AB project in Virtue's Last Reward under orders of Free the Soul. Spiral Super Agent reminds me of Dio. He's that guy there. In all honesty, Dio would be sneaky, summoning his fiction kin to gain advantages. Super Agent is the core of the deck. Dio would have support from... Okay, so Super Agent is the core of the deck with support from other monsters, and Dio would have support from Free the Soul from the outside. QUARK! QUARK uses Maldoche. They're cute and involve food. QUARK's favourite thing is a root beer float. Being how fancy food like that, or any good food in general, would be hard to obtain in his timeline, considering it's in a post-apocalyptic future. Grandpa, I'm going to challenge Mr. Dio with my Maldoche cards! Tenmyuji uses Scrap. Now, Tenmyuji is a garbage collector living in a post-apocalyptic world, taking care of QUARK. Scrap monsters destroy one another with effects. Their reflection on scrap materials being fragile, need to set up strength. Tenmyuji went through a shit life, he became stronger with QUARK, need I say more, he kept going on and on despite all hope was lost. Luna uses Aroma. Now listen, Aroma is all about life point gain, triggering card effects. Luna is a nurse, so it's suitable for her to have a deck based on healing. Plus, Aroma Gardening, Bee Garden, Luna End, Luna. She would cosplay Marjoram, just saying. Zero Senior would use Cosmos. Now, Cosmo is a mix of Star Wars and Wizard of Oz. I'm not saying this ironically, it's like literally Star Wars and Wizard of Oz set in space, like Star Wars. Zero Senior works in space, and he would still use something. He would still use something with cute girls in them. This archetype manipulates the player's LP. Sacrifices have to be made, you know? I mean, as if he did care about... Anyway, old lady Akane would use Constella. She would still use Dolls, but finds Constella's more peaceful despite her plans. She may not be human anymore, she may not be the same Akane anymore, but over time, during the AB project, assuming Yu-Gi-Oh! Exists in this canon universe, she'd be like, oh, stars, they're peaceful. I can think of positive things to do with space. I don't know. Constella's focus on XD summoning, relying on their own archetype, and they're pretty. Zero the Third, you would use Igniter/AI. They work quite well together. Zero the Third is also an AI, and Igniter, I don't know how to pronounce it, is supported by AI. I cards. I don't know if you say AI cards or I cards, considering the cards are based off need I. There's a swarm beatdown strategies, and plus Zero the Third want to have be as chaotic as the character I from Yu-Gi-Oh! Frames. That's all shit. Ability to use extra deck summon methods, ritual, exceeds, blah blah blah. DK would use Mars Hero. Okay, listen to me. Listen to me. He is a good boy and has protagonist vibes and he only wants what's best. He's masked and covered in armor, much like an M hero. And I think K deserves to be a Kamen Rider. The K in K, Kyle, stands for Kamen Rider. Come on, look at it. JUNPEI 2! The Zombie World deck. There's actually a structured deck. There's an actual structured deck you can get if you have the money. Given up on this hero shtick, JUNPEI would go for something more of his current vibes, more undead. He mentioned how like he would like sleep in the shower and something, and he's seen grotesque things during his time as a detective. So he's gone for a lot other than, you know, a freaking death game. His ace card would be Red Eye Zombie Dragon, which fits his aesthetic. Originally I gave him like Red Eyes Regular Dragon or Red Eyes Darkness, but I'm like, you know what? Zombie's good. Plus the deck focuses on swarming the field from the graveyard. AKANE 2 would use Predaplant. Now I don't think she would stop using Shadows. She can use a secondary deck, and a poisonous one at that, once again being focused on fusion, like Shadows were. Plus I think she would look great with Starfed and Fusion Dragon. It's sick! Carlos uses Infernoble Knights. Carlos is a firefighter, a hero of sorts. Knights are heroes, plus they're a fire tribute. Some series of noble knights uses links and synchros, creating powerful combos. And they're so hard, just like Carlos. Now Sigma 2 would use Time Thief. I know I said that 7 uses S-Force, which is connected to Time Thief, but he never met Sigma. But anyway, the old man keeps shifting from different timelines for the sake of humanity. Time Thief relies on taking opponent's cards for Xyz material, it's in the name, and I still think he would use Harpies and Cosmo. Phi 2. World Chalice. Now the timelines are kind of confusing with 2 Phis, 3 Phis? Like, because there was this Phi. Phi was raised by older Phi, and Phi, oh my god. TTD. So why not a unique deck that can use support from other archetypes depending on the deck build, particularly World Legacy? Focusing on link summoning combos. I say unique deck because it depends, because World Legacy can work with Mech Knights, Crawlers. I'm missing another archetype here, but and like different Phis have different stories, and oh my god, I just realized I should have given her photons. Sean uses Wind Up. It has a hand advantage. The Xyz summon based, and the toy designs look like kinetic toys, but also with potential energy, somewhat like a robot, which is what Sean is. And plus they're cute. He'd want something that brings him happiness and joy. Mira would use Vampire. This is a no-brainer. Vampires can be attractive and can lure others with their beauty, much like Mira did. Mira is known as a Heart Ripper, a killer that isn't foreign to human blood. Archetype can take control of opponent's monsters and pay LP to summon from the graveyard. Eric uses Performer Power. I know what you're thinking, and I still stand by this. He just wants to be happy. He just wants to smile. And he would want to spread happiness just like Yuya Sakaki from Arc 5 would have unfortunate emotions in the mix, just like Yuya Sakaki from Arc 5. So smile! Pendulum deck, and can gain large attack boosts and swarm the field, just like Yuya Sakaki from Arc 5. Diana would use Lunalight. Originally I gave her an anti-cure deck, or a deck based off Guardian St. Joan, but Archetype represents furry girls associated with the moon. I am not calling Diana a furry, she can be if she wants to, but look at Emerald Burn Red. Perfect. Focuses on fusion for an OTK. I just think they're neat, honestly. I wanted to give someone Lunar Lights because they deserve it. Delta would use Jinzo. Dark Archetype that locks on Lotus traps, causes trouble for their protection. Need as many Jinzos as possible. Also, I thought they were psychic, but turns out they're machines, so I feel kind of betrayed. And Jinzo looks like an unmasked Delta. Plus Gab is a dog. He wouldn't. This isn't Yu-Gi-Oh! Zeal. Dogs don't fucking duel. Unless he would use Melfi? Melfi? There's no hot dog bags. And that's it! This took me a very long time to complete, so there's I go, why didn't this character use this character? Or why didn't this deck use this deck? Or why are you saying this deck and this deck when you're supposed to say this character and this deck? Otherwise, thanks for watching / reading.